Positano. It's one of the most beautiful places in Italy. In this episode, we take you with us as we hike the breathtaking Path of the Gods. Afterwards, we make our way to pebbly Laurito Beach for lunch, explore the city, and then splurge by taking a private sunset cruise our daughter arranged for us. If you're looking for the perfect day, this is it. As always, we give you the prices at the end. I'm Judy.
And I'm Kevin. Welcome back to Finding Gina Marie, where we share our lives as full-time travelers and the connections we make along the way.
Positano can be polarizing. On one hand, it's stunning, but it's also crowded, especially during the height of tourist season. We visited in early June, so crowds weren't as bad as they could be. There are narrow streets, artisan boutiques, art galleries, and local cuisine that make it charming, but it's also expensive and hard to get around due to all the stairs. If you've been here before, let us know if you love it or hate it. We'll give you our final thoughts at the end. Come along with us as we hike the Path of the Gods, known in Italian as Sentiero dei Dei. The easiest way to hike the Path of the Gods is to stay in Bomerano, a small hamlet in Agorolda. We booked Casa Veleni through Booking.com, but they're also listed on Airbnb, or you can book direct, which is the most cost-effective way. It's a 19th century family-owned property in pristine condition, and our hosts left us several delicious amenities to welcome us and gave us many useful tips for our time in the Amalfi Coast. It's conveniently located smack dab in the center of town. We also recommend staying in Amalfi and taking local bus number 5020 up to Bomerano, which departs from the main bus station near Amalfi Beach. But you'll need your day to start very early if you do it that way in order to avoid the heat and the crowds, especially later in the season. A taxi from Amalfi to Bomerano will cost about 100 euro. We have an entire episode about navigating the Amalfi Coast linked in the description. Regardless of where you stay, the approach trail is only about 20 meters from the bus stop in the town square, Piazza Paolo Capasso.
It's the next morning after a wonderful day.
And we're headed off to the Path of the Gods. And people are warning us that it's 1,600 stairs after you go 2.5 hours. And it's supposed to be fairly dangerous. So I think we're just going to go to that point. It's still supposed to take a good amount of time. And I don't know if it's pointless up and downs or if it's just downhill from here. I doubt it, but we are at the top. So we won't go higher, but we still could go up.
And we are avoiding the stairs like everyone said, so we'll be good. See you after the trip.
The path begins in Bomerano, and the official end of the trail is in Nocella. Some people choose to continue onward all the way down to Positano, which is more strenuous and dangerous and is an add-on to the official trail. Not hiking all the way down to Positano will still give you a decent hike that spans 5.8 kilometers or 3.6 miles with plenty of ups and downs. It's a downward path, but you'll still ascend 215 meters and descend 410 meters. If you extend the route from Nocella to Positano, expect to descend approximately 1,750 stairs, some of which are slippery, steep, uneven, and have sheer drop-offs with no railings. You'll want to check on the weather because it will be even more precarious when wet. Either way, make sure you have plenty of sunscreen, sturdy walking shoes with good tread on them, plenty of water, and a snack or two. We didn't bring them, but you wouldn't be out of place with hiking poles. There was a man who ended up needing to be helicoptered off the mountain before even reaching Nocella, so watch your step. So how do you get down to Positano if you want to wrap up the hike at Nocella? Fortunately, there's a shuttle bus that will take you the rest of the way down to the beaches of Positano, but they only run once per hour, so if you miss it, you'll need to hang around and wait for the next shuttle, and it can get crowded. We visited on June 3rd, and even early in the season, the shuttle can get full. You can pre-arrange a taxi to meet you, but it's hard to know how long the trail will take you. It took us exactly 3 hours and included a lot of stops for pictures. But if you're super fit and cruise through, it could take you as little as 2 hours or so. You can also choose to stop for a snack. There are beautiful spots you can pull to the side for a picnic if you visit before it gets crowded. And there's also a few stops that you can get a drink. But I wouldn't count on those places. You definitely want to make sure you're bringing plenty of hydration with you. That's why it's best to go early in the season and also early in the day. We started at 8 a.m., but 7 a.m. would have been even better. And if you follow our itinerary and head to our lunch spot, you need to make sure you arrive before the last boat departs to Da Adolfo. Initially, we were told that we could take a bus at Nucelle and that would be far enough because there were going to be 1,300 steps and that it was pretty precarious. Well, I kind of thought that that would be wimping out, but so far we've been hiking for 2 hours and this is not an inconsequential hike. There's a lot of ups and downs. It's very rocky and it's a good strenuous hike.
There's a bit of billy goat in here. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. There's some billy goats actually.
Lots of goats too, yes.
But then we're mimicking
We're
them.
mimicking, yeah. Still fun.
The minuti by steps. So it's really nice. We're only 15 minutes from the bus stop, but if you are going all the way down, it's another 50 minutes. And it's kind of cool that there's this little stop that you can get some refreshments. The downside is you have to go down to get it, and that is not the path. So then you have to come back up. You have to decide how thirsty you really are.
Yeah, 2 minuti down and maybe more up.
So we completed everything in, I would say, 3 full hours, which I don't think was bad at all for the hike that we endured.
We took a lot of rest stops to make sure we were okay.
Yeah, there's a bus stop that will take us to the rest of the way to Positano. It looks like it's 1.5 euro if you already have bus tickets, 1.8 if you don't, which is still affordable. You can get them on the bus.
Made to our boat to go to the restaurant on a very long walk and then a very crowded bus. The timing for everything just happened to work out. It was touch and go there for a little bit, especially when somebody on the bus got a little upset. It's like, okay, we're going to stop the bus here and argue. Let's just get to the docks. But we made it. We're on our way to Da Adolfo.
Laurito Beach is sometimes known as the last paradise, and it's easy to see why. Our daughter made a lunch reservation for us here on the beach at Da Adolfo, which has been around since 1966. It's mainly accessible by a quick 5-minute boat ride from Positano. It's free, but it's only for guests of the restaurant. Da Adolfo only serves lunch, but there's also a private beach for guests. The boat leaves from the pier at Positano from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and doesn't return back to Positano until beginning at 4 p.m. So if you're done with lunch early, you'll need to hang around Laurito Beach, which isn't such a hardship. There are beach chairs available, and they'll add the cost to your lunch bill. There are showers and changing rooms here too. It's a full-service restaurant. Reservations are only accepted over the phone, and you have to be persistent to get through. And they disregard email requests. Thankfully, you don't need to speak Italian to be able to book a table. The atmosphere here was fun. There were at least 3 big groups here celebrating birthdays. And so much of the vibe is upbeat and chill. There were a lot of families here and also locals. We had a few appetizers, pasta, octopus, and wine. Of everything, we really enjoyed the seared tuna appetizer. And of course, their famous tiramisu. So what is this, Kevin?
Un piccolo tiramisu. No, un grande. Delicioso. So light, fluffy. This is really great tiramisu.
And this could feed, a family of 16. So these are not delicate portions, but they did say that this was their grandmother's recipe.
Good job, Grandma. Way to go, Noni.
By now, we're pleasantly full and able to explore the village of Positano proper. You'll see tons of beach chairs on Spiaggia Grande, which is the main and free beach here. Most of the sand isn't soft sand. It's grayish rocks, pebbles, and coarse dark sand, so bring water shoes. The water is clean for swimming, and beach chairs cost around 10 euro or more apiece. Otherwise, most of what's here in Positano is walking, shopping, eating, and of course, enjoying the scenic views.
All right. What do you think?
I've never seen basil this big before in my life.
Bigger the basil.
Bigger the basil.
And the granita is quite good too. Lemon granita, nice and tangy, with a lot of pulp for the lemon, which I've not had quite so much of before. Definitely pucker power. You can wander the coastline, but to fully explore, you'll be climbing a lot of winding stairs. As you walk, take particular note of the alleyways that give you peekaboo views of the coastline and are great spots for stunning photos. Make a point to notice the medieval historical watchtowers built to protect against pirates. Torre Trizita is one such watchtower. If you have an unlimited budget, you can sleep in one of their historical suites, starting at 850 euro per night, which we did not do. The Church of Santa Maria Assunta is in the heart of Positano in Piazza Flavio Gioia and was built in the 10th century. Its dome is covered in colorful maiolica tiles. If you're looking for the perfect cap to the day and are able to set aside some cash for a splurge experience that our daughter booked for us, we highly recommend a sunset cruise. Because we'd already taken a ferry from Amalfi to Positano and then a boat to Laurito Beach, I wasn't sure if we needed a pricey boat tour, but I was wrong. We hopped on Blue Star Positano private boat around 5:45 and took a 1.5-hour cruise around the various seaside villages. And the captain gave us historical information and described the places we were seeing. We got so much closer to the coastline than we could by ferry, and there was beautiful scenery everywhere. Our guide also allowed us to customize our tour and navigated us under this Instagram famous bridge. We enjoyed prosecco and soft drinks and a small charcuterie platter, which was the perfect size for us. The water was still chilly in early June, but you could have snorkeled, and gear and towels were included. It was relaxing, peaceful, and truly made our experience in Positano memorable.
Positano, baby.
Such a great experience. We ended up pre-booking a taxi and met up with them up the hill on Via Marconi near Eden Rock Hotel, which is a common spot for pickups. We highly recommend our taxi driver Eduardo, who we used for our entire time on the Amalfi Coast. We'll leave his contact information in the description. Give yourself plenty of time to get to your taxi from the coastline, because at that time of the day, you'll be fighting against crowds, walking up steep roads, and climbing many, many stairs. The walk took us between 20 and 30 minutes. Before we talk about prices, we're excited to share that we've started our own absolutely free community forum that we are calling La Familia. You can ask questions about trip planning and all things related to travel there. A video with the details is linked in the description below. So what did we spend? Our Airbnb for 5 nights was €730.85, or €146.17 per night. And that included homemade limoncello, fresh strawberries, and local snacks courtesy of our incredible hosts. Shuttle tickets from Nucella to Positano were only €1.50, and we purchased them on the bus. They didn't charge us more for purchasing them on arrival, even though the signage quoted 2 different prices. Our 1.5-hour private sunset cruise with refreshments was €472, and we purchased that from Viator. There's a link for it in the description below. Our taxi back from Positano to Bomorano cost €100 cash. If you're going to chill on a beach chair at Da Adolfo, they'll add it to your lunch tab for €25 per chair. Lunch for the 3 of us, including 2 appetizers, a bottle of wine, and dessert, cost €133.50. Our caprese appetizer was €14, and delicious seared tuna was €22. Our bottle of wine was €40. I split a main, spaghetti al pesto, with our daughter, which cost €20, and Kevin's grilled octopus was €20. Espresso for Kevin afterwards was €1.50, and our huge and delicious tiramisu was €12, and we ate every bite. So what did we think about Positano? We loved it, and we visited over the course of 2 days. We're so glad we included it as part of our travels, but for us, it probably is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It is hard to get around and can be expensive, and we aren't really into shopping. But for the spectacular views, especially if you go during May and June or late September through the end of October, it's definitely worth your time. It was one of our favorite places on the Amalfi Coast. Our daughter, on the other hand, is trying to figure out how she can live here part of the year. We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't already subscribed, we'd love for you to do that. And one of the best compliments you can give to us is to recommend our videos to your friends and family.
Check out findingjinamary.com. We have articles, more information, and our community forum.
Until next time.
Until next time.